Hello, lovely people. My name is Ernestina. Call me Tina for short. I'm here once again to talk about 7 facts about food security. What is food security? It's basically refers to the ability to produce food, supply food, assess food, and its right nutrition to help active living. These comes from household, country, village, country, continent, and worldwide. It's on different levels. And it says that, for example, if countries are able to rely on themselves to produce and feed themselves in drought condition all year round, then they are food secured. Some countries can do it, others cannot do it. Why is it that they cannot do it? There are so many reasons we give for insecurity, food insecurity, wrong infrastructure, less sophisticated technology, blah, 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 transport, storage. But let's remember, when our forefathers were there, we did not have all these refrigerators and storage and all the sophisticated things that are able to keep our fruit and veg and things for a long shelf life. What did they do? They did processing, they did harvesting, they did staggered growth, cropping or production, preservation by drying, salting, powdering it, putting them in pickles, so many. So why is it that we are here and we see so much food being produced and yet we say it's not enough? I have a passion as an agriculturist, an agronomist, entomologist, just because I have interest in insects and I have interest in plant growth. But I'm not interested in producing food anymore. It's enough. We have enough. What I'm interested is in between the plate and the farm. What happens during transportation? What happens after we've eaten? How can we use the unwanted food to replenish the soil, give the plants the nutrients they need, and bring in more food? And also keep the environment. We've heard of global warming, all those things. We know the problems. We know our dietary needs. We know the economy. We know what we have to eat and what we don't have to eat, but we don't have the money. However, it is pretty sure that how food secure are we? Is it really important to be food secure? As I said from the beginning, there are 7 facts I want us to talk about food security. Ancient civilian Egyptians had a drought. We've heard about this story before, where they had to keep food and people had to travel and come, and that was the Joseph and his 11 brothers story. How are they able to do it in modern day? China stores large quantities of food for spare, just in case of drought, and therefore they appear to be the empires successful for food security. What about the rest of us? What about the rest of us? So we need to really secure food in bumper harvest so that we'll have enough during drought or famine or war. How do we do this? Building warehouses, harvesting, drying them, putting them in different forms. We've already had this long before civilization. So we shouldn't lose guard of the basics. Produce enough for the season. Unearth what the earth has given us for the next season. The second one is remittance. Family and friends abroad send money. It has impact on food security. It improves it. People are able to afford what they can eat or buy. Migration helps. When there is drought, there is the other side of it. When there is war, there's the other side of it. All these come in handy and it helps us to develop. So let's remit ourselves working in the city and supplying means for families back in the village a village growing and supplying food for the city. Peri-urban movement. We should think of that. And then the price of the world price for different types of food. It keeps falling and rising. Now it's been rising for a while. It is great news for the poor countries because they can sell their small thing for higher price. But the prices will certainly almost bounce back again because they will need fertilizers, they will need equipment, and the price value difference makes them more poorer. Therefore, how do we prepare for such eventualities? Start getting your local equipment. Use things that are available to make things that are unavailable. Then the total number of undernourished people in the world, it's said to be about 17% in the 1992. That's even more impressive considering that there is world population increase. Progress has been made. A lot of children are nourished now. However, are they being nourished with their local food or they've been nourished by imported food? These are the main concerns I want us to look because nature provides for its own where you find yourself. Yesterday, I was talking to a colleague and she was like, she's never had nettle before, stingy nettle. It's sweet. Go check it out. They've got spikes on them that are like acupuncture needles. They will come up and you react to it. But there's an antidote which is next to it. Nature has it done. Dock leaf. They are also edible, but they are a bit tougher and fibrous. Please, nature has provided for us our nutrition where we find ourselves. Let's look for it. So the fifth one is when you look in East Asia, Southern Asia, Latin America, they've made progress with food security. That's very good. Bien. But what did they do? They've called the soup bank, food project, breakfast project. And if a few, even Tanzania, recently I read that they are regrowing their 20% of their desert land has been reclaimed with a plan of going back to the desert to see the stumps and the shrubs that survive, regrowing them and multiplying them on the land and covering them with plastics. So in the heat of the desert, they get moisture and they are growing and it's becoming greener in some of these things. Let us focus on the basics and add our technology and all our wisdom to it. Point 5. Every region of the world has a record of declining undernourishment over the last 20 odd years. It is not a problem that cannot be resolved. We have the ambition, we have the solution. Eat what you grow what you eat. Too much land grabbing has not helped us. How can we spend in Kerala? Spend 10% growing crop we do not eat. And that 10%, if we turn it into value, cannot import what we eat at the same kilos. Why are we doing this? Is industrialization killing us because of profits? And we're not helping the environment where we live. The land that sustains us, it's our responsibility to take good care of. And the last point is the climate change. It's a big food security threat. And it's being said everywhere. But we are not trying to tell the undeveloped their countries to stop, to preserve theirs, and we continue. It's like opposite effects. The distractions is going on the undeveloped lands. And the effects is coming on the developed countries. How many tsunamis has gone on the other side? Well, the report predicts that climate change will cause fish caught in some parts of the country, or some parts of the tropics, to fall by 60%. These are the 7 points I want us to talk about food security. Climate change effects, undernourishment being a climate change effect, so we need to do something about it because it's affecting our security when it comes to the ocean and the water level rising and the Arctic dissolving. And then we have and the nourishment being things that have been overcome by basic local foods. We talk about world prices. We talk about storage. And we've talked about migration or remittances. Hope we will reconsider these things and make sure we have enough food to eat. We are securing ourselves for the unforeseen future. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.